Man, some games just feel alive. You know that feeling when you enter a game and it's like the world keeps moving on its own? I've picked 15 of the most immersive and living open-world games you've ever seen. They're not just great because of their vast worlds, but also because they have strong narratives, well-written protagonists, and incredible stories.
Man, Far Cry 5 hits different. Hope County might look like just another open-world map at first, but the moment you step into it, you realize how alive it really is. The forests hum with life, birds scatter when a gunshot cracks the air, deer sprint across open roads, and yet there's always this quiet, eerie tension hanging over everything. You can be fishing peacefully by a river, and suddenly a cult patrol rolls by, shouting about cleansing the world. That mix of serenity and chaos is what makes it feel real. It's the American countryside, twisted by fear, control, and fanaticism. What truly brings Hope County to life, though, are the people. The bartender secretly running resistance missions, the pilot who'd do anything for his daughter, and Boomer, the loyal dog who becomes your best buddy. Every encounter feels personal, not staged, not scripted. And those sunsets, golden light spilling over endless trees, smoke rising in the distance from a firefight you just left behind. The world breathes, it reacts, it evolves. Far Cry 5 isn't perfect, and that's part of its charm. It's messy, unpredictable, and alive in all the right ways. Assassin's Creed Origins. You ever play a game and feel like you're not just exploring a world, but walking through history? That's exactly what Assassin's Creed Origins does. This isn't just Egypt, it's ancient Egypt in all its glory. You can feel the heat of the desert on your skin, hear the constant buzz of crowded markets, see priests praying by towering temples while farmers quietly tend their fields along the Nile. It feels less like a game and more like stepping into a time machine. And then there's Bayek. He's not just another assassin, he feels human, shaped by pain, loss, and purpose. You don't connect with him because of how many targets he kills, but because he's holding on to the last pieces of love and meaning in a world that keeps moving forward without mercy. You can sense the birth of something bigger, the Brotherhood, an idea that would one day change history. Yet, despite all that, the game gives you moments of unexpected peace. Sometimes I just climb a pyramid, sit at the top, and watch sandstorms roll across the dunes as the sun sets behind the horizon. Those quiet moments hit harder than any boss fight ever could. Origins doesn't try to overwhelm you. It makes you feel like you belong. Every bird flying overhead, every merchant shouting in the distance, every soft jingle of camel bells. They make the world feel like it exists, even when you're not playing. Say what you will about its launch, Cyberpunk 2077 today is a completely different beast. Night City isn't just a city, it's a living organism. The lights never fade, the streets never sleep, and the people, they all have somewhere to go, something to chase, even if you never follow them. Walk down a random alley and you'll find graffiti telling a story. You hear people arguing over implants, laughing at a bad joke, just trying to survive another day. It feels like you're eavesdropping on a world that doesn't care you're there, and that's exactly what makes it feel real. At night, the city glows, rain hits your jacket, neon signs bleed into puddles on the street. It's hypnotic. You start to feel its rhythm, its pulse. You don't play Cyberpunk, you live it. And then there's V. Your journey through Night City becomes deeply personal. You're not just running missions, you're searching for meaning in a place built on noise, greed, and broken dreams. It's messy, it's loud, it's emotional, just like real life. Night City isn't a backdrop, it's a soul, flawed, electric, and impossible to forget. Watch Dogs 2. San Francisco has never felt more alive than it does in Watch Dogs 2. Seriously, this city doesn't sleep. Every street has a personality. Skateboarders weave through sidewalks, tech geeks argue about conspiracy theories in crowded coffee shops, random people live stream their lives straight from their phones. The city is full of color, rhythm, and chaos, a perfect mix of freedom and energy. and Marcus Holloway fits that vibe flawlessly. He's not your typical dark, brooding hero. He's young, passionate, a little nerdy, and he feels real. You can tell he actually loves what he's doing, and that energy rubs off on you as you explore the world. Then there's the tech. The way you can control traffic lights, hijack cars, manipulate security systems, it makes the city feel reactive, like it's aware of your presence. Sometimes I don't even play the mission. I just walk around and watch the city breathe. Police chases break out, people start fighting, drones buzz overhead. None of it needs you to trigger it, it just happens. It's like the city has its own brain. Every time I come back to Watch Dogs 2, it feels like stepping into a space that's constantly evolving. It's not just an open world, it's breathing, a digital reflection of real life. Hitman World of Assassination. Alright, I know what you're thinking. Hitman? That's not even an open world game. But hear me out, it absolutely deserves to be here. Every location, Paris, Sapienza, Mumbai, Berlin, feels like its own living, breathing ecosystem. And honestly, it's mind-blowing. You step into a mission expecting just another level. 5 minutes later, you're watching NPCs argue about work. Tourists stop to take selfies. Waiters flirt. Random people go about their day. None of it feels staged. It's not performing for you. It's just happening. And that's what makes Hitman so immersive. The world doesn't revolve around you. You simply slip into it, unnoticed like a ghost. The music fades, the crowd becomes a soft hum in the background, and suddenly you're not following objectives, you're reading the environment. No tutorials, no exposition, just pure observation. You start to realize something powerful. This place would keep going even if you never pulled the trigger. That feeling that you're part of something alive, something that doesn't care about your goals, is incredible. I've spent entire missions just walking, listening, watching. No kills, no chaos, just existing. The developers didn't just build maps, they built societies, and that's something truly rare.
Red Dead Redemption 2. I could talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 forever, because it's not just a game, it's a living, breathing world that feels like it existed long before you ever turned on your console. The way the light cuts through the trees at dawn, the way mud clings to your boots, the way birds scatter when a gunshot breaks the silence. Every single detail feels handcrafted, built with patience, love, and obsession. What truly blows my mind is how alive it all feels even when you're doing nothing. Ride your horse through Valentine at night and you'll see townsfolk closing up shop, lamps flickering, dogs barking somewhere in the distance. Wake up early and watch fog slowly lift off the river. They're small moments, but they're everything. And then there's Arthur Morgan. He's the heart of it all. His story doesn't feel forced into this world, it belongs here. The more you play, the more the world starts to mirror his journey. Beautiful, but fading. The gang feels real too. They eat, they talk, they argue, they live their lives without waiting for you. I've lost hours just sitting by the campfire, listening to stories, saying nothing. And that's the magic of this game. Sometimes you don't want to rush to the next mission. You just want to ride slowly, letting the wind, the silence, and the music carry you forward. That's what makes Red Dead Redemption 2 feel so alive. It doesn't beg for your attention. It already has your heart.
The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. You know that moment when you step out of the Shrine of Resurrection for the very first time and the entire world of Hyrule stretches out before your eyes? I still get chills just thinking about it. Breath of the Wild captures something incredibly rare, a pure sense of wonder. It doesn't push you forward, it doesn't bark objectives at you, it simply invites you to explore. Every hill, every tree, every whisper of the wind feels like it's calling you to see what lies beyond. What makes this world feel so alive isn't just what is happening, it's what could happen. You see a mountain and think, I can climb that. A storm rolls in and you suddenly realize, maybe I should drop this metal sword. The world doesn't revolve around you, it exists with or without you. Wild animals hunt, rain puts out fires, wind spreads flames.
Nature behaves like nature. I've spent hours just cooking by a campfire, listening as the soft music fades into silence. No rush, no flashing arrows telling you where to go, just you, the landscape, and your curiosity. And every time I return, that same sense of magic hits me, like I'm discovering it all for the first time. Very few games make me stop mid-journey just to admire a sunset. Breath of the Wild does. Because Hyrule isn't just a backdrop, it's a living world, one that speaks for itself.
Days Gone isn't just another open-world zombie game. It's a story about a broken world that somehow still feels alive. The forests of Oregon are dense, dark, and unpredictable. One moment you're cruising down a quiet highway on your bike, the next a horde of freakers erupts from the woods like a living nightmare. But the beauty is in the details. The rustle of trees in the wind, fog rolling over the mountains at dawn, the distant howl of wolves echoing through the silence. It's haunting, and it's beautiful. You can feel the weight of the world pressing down on Deacon St. John, his loneliness, his grief, and his stubborn refusal to give up. And that bike, it's not just transportation, it's your lifeline, maybe even your best friend. You maintain it, upgrade it, protect it. You start caring for it like it's part of you. The survivor camps, the people scraping by, the quiet moments sitting by a campfire. Everything feels tangible, real. Days Gone shows that even after the apocalypse, nature keeps moving. The world keeps breathing. It's not about saving humanity, it's about finding a reason to keep living. And somehow, that makes this world feel more human than most games ever manage to be.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. If there's one game that truly defines what a living world feels like, it's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. You don't just play it, you inhabit it. Every forest, every swamp, every forgotten village feels like it has a story whispering through the wind. You can almost smell rain soaking into the mud, hear the distant howls of wolves, feel the tension in the air when a storm starts rolling in. And then there's Geralt of Rivia. He's not your typical hero. He's weary, layered, a man who's seen too much. You feel the weight of his choices, the loneliness of being a witcher, needed by everyone, welcomed by no one. But then something magical happens. The world reacts to you. People remember what you did. Rumors spread. And sometimes a simple side quest quietly changes the tone of an entire region. What truly blows me away is how natural everything feels. You're not just hunting monsters, you're walking into tragedies, legends, and lives that continue whether you interfere or not. Villagers mourn their dead. Farmers curse the war. Travelers sing softly by the fire. All of it happens while you're busy chasing your next contract. And that's the magic of The Witcher 3. It doesn't try to impress you with sheer scale. It wins you over with soul. Every blade of grass, every melancholy note from Priscilla's song, every quiet moment by a lake at dusk. It reminds you that a truly alive world isn't about graphics or mechanics. It's about feeling something real.
Horizon Forbidden West, there's something surreal about Horizon Forbidden West. It's a perfect balance between nature reclaiming the earth and humanity desperately clinging to survival. Every region feels like a world of its own. Deserts shimmer under crushing heat, jungles overflow with mechanical beasts, ancient ruins whisper stories of a civilization long gone. You can feel the history buried beneath your feet. And Aloy is the reason it all feels so alive. Her curiosity, her determination, they mirror our own as players. You're not just completing missions, you're uncovering truths. The conversations, the tribes, the way machines move, hunt, and react. Everything feels deliberate, like there's logic and life behind every decision. Sometimes I stop playing just to watch the world breathe. The wind rippling through tall grass,
a herd of machines grazing peacefully, then scattering the moment they notice me. That level of detail sells the illusion completely. It stops feeling like a game world. It starts feeling like a functioning ecosystem. What I love most is the contrast. Beauty and decay, side by side. It's hauntingly gorgeous. Every color, every sound, every crumbling ruin reminds you of one simple truth. Life finds a way. Horizon Forbidden West doesn't just feel alive, it feels reborn.
Pretty high. She had a dream for you, for life on Earth.
Dying Light 2, Stay Human. If you've ever played Dying Light 2 at night, you understand what fear really means. This world doesn't just feel dangerous, it breathes danger. You can hear it in people's voices, feel it in the air, see it in how the entire city changes the moment the sun goes down. During the day, the streets feel almost normal. Survivors talk, trade, try to rebuild some version of life. But at night, the infected rule. The city transforms. What makes Dying Light 2 truly special is how the world reacts to your choices. Factions remember what you do. People remember who you helped and who you betrayed. Give water to a district, and suddenly that area comes alive. Lights turn on, people celebrate, hope returns. But make the wrong choice, and that same place becomes hostile, tense, dangerous, unforgiving. The city reflects you. And then there's the parkour, the freedom, sprinting across rooftops, leaping between buildings, grabbing a ledge at the last second. The entire city becomes your playground, but one mistake can cost you everything. Sometimes I stop at the top of a tower just to breathe, looking down at the infected below, fires burning in the streets, the sunrise slowly cutting through the smog. It's beautiful and absolutely terrifying. Dying Light 2 captures the feeling of a world clinging to hope by its fingertips, a place still fighting desperately to stay alive. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. Skyrim had to make this list. Yeah, it's old, but it's timeless. Every time you start a new game, it feels like returning to a world that somehow remembers you. The snow-covered mountains, crackling fireplaces inside quiet inns, the distant roar of a dragon echoing through the valleys. It all feels alive. NPCs live their lives whether you're there or not. Shopkeepers close up at night. Guards chat about their day. Random travelers share stories that make the world feel genuinely lived in. And the best part? You can go anywhere, do anything. The game never tells you what kind of hero to be. That choice is entirely yours. You'll climb a mountain just because something glimmered at the top. You'll follow a butterfly and accidentally stumble into a brand new quest. Those spontaneous moments are everywhere. Gentle reminders that the world doesn't revolve around you. It simply exists. And that's what makes Skyrim so powerful. It isn't perfect, but it feels eternal. It's not just a map you explore. It's a place that stays with you long after you've put the controller down. Ghost of Tsushima. Man, Ghost of Tsushima is art in motion. Every frame looks like it belongs in a museum, and the game never rushes you. Sometimes you don't chase missions at all. You just ride through golden fields, watching leaves swirl through the air, letting the world move around you. The beauty of Tsushima isn't in crowds or noise. It's in how nature itself breathes. The wind becomes your guide. Foxes lead you to hidden shrines. Bamboo forests whisper as you pass through them. It's peaceful, almost meditative. And yet, beneath that beauty, there's pain, loss, war. You feel the tension between serenity and tragedy everywhere you go. That's the magic. Ghost of Tsushima doesn't scream for your attention. It whispers it. You start to notice the smallest things, the way light shifts through the trees, how rain falls heavier after a brutal battle, how Jin's journey is reflected in the land itself. This world isn't just alive, it's soulful. And by the time the credits roll, you realize something special. This isn't a world you simply visited, it's a world you lived in, and one that stays with you long after you leave. I'll be honest, I was never a huge Harry Potter fan, so I went into Hogwarts Legacy a little hesitant. But the moment I started walking through the castle halls, hearing students gossip, seeing books fly off shelves on their own, the world immediately felt alive. What truly surprised me was how well the game captures everyday magic. Floating candles lighting the Great Hall, talking portraits that actually move and argue, owls swooping in with letters mid-conversation. It's the kind of world where even standing still feels exciting, because something is always happening around you. And it's not just Hogwarts. The nearby villages, the Forbidden Forest, Hogsmeade, every place feels like it's breathing, each with stories unfolding whether you're there or not. Students rush to class, creatures roam freely, the weather shifts like the world has its own pulse. Playing Hogwarts Legacy isn't just about exploration, it's about belonging. It gives you that rare feeling of being part of something magical, even if you're just wandering the castle at midnight, wand in hand, with no plan at all. Mad Max. Man, Mad Max is pure chaos, but in the best way possible. The desert is brutal, empty, and yet strangely alive. Not alive with people, alive with atmosphere. The storms rolling in without warning, engines roaring somewhere beyond the horizon, vultures circling rusted wrecks. This is a world that speaks through sound and motion. Every inch of the wasteland tells a story. Rusted cars half buried in sand, the skeletons of dead cities, desperate survivors fighting over scraps. You feel it instantly. Civilization collapsed a long time ago, and this is what remains. But what really hooks you is the connection to your car, the magnum opus. It's your lifeline, your weapon, your home. The roar of its engine cutting through the howling wind feels real. You can almost taste the dust in the air. There's a strange beauty in how ugly everything is. Sunsets bleeding over endless dunes, lightning storms tearing across the sky. Violent and absolutely stunning. Mad Max proves something important. A world doesn't need to be lush or crowded to feel alive. Sometimes survival itself is what gives life meaning.
And that's it, man. 15 open worlds that don't just look alive, they feel alive. These are the kinds of games that make you forget you're holding a controller. Worlds that pull you in so deeply you stop playing and start living in them. If you've played even one of these, you know exactly what I mean. And if you haven't, dude, what are you even doing? Go experience them. Lose yourself in them. Wander. Listen. Just exist for a while. Because sometimes these virtual worlds remind us how powerful exploration, silence, and stories can be. And trust me, real life could wait.